Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm in Leeds today, something a little bit different. It's Wednesday morning, it's just gone 10 o'clock, and I've done a little bit of research for this video, which is unusual, but I thought what we'd do is walk around the medieval boundaries of the city as they were in the 1700s. At that time, the entrances to Leeds were marked by 6 bars, not like the ones in York where they're heavily fortified, but here they were just a gate, and they were basically there to keep out stray animals, cattle from surrounding farmland, and also to keep travellers at the gate until the tolls could be collected. As I say, there were 6 bars, which was gates. They were later replaced by stone markers, of which only 3 remain. So I'm going to be walking in a big circle, basically. Let me think, am I going clockwise or anti-clockwise? I think I'm going clockwise. I'm just outside the Leeds Parish Church, which is where the East Bar was. This was the main entrance if you were coming into the city from York. I'm in a little park opposite the parish church. So without further ado, I'll get started. Show you where I am. We've actually been down here before on our walks. And I do intend coming to this park at some point in the future and having a good old look at all the stones. If you remember, they had to get an Act of Parliament to build the Selby to Leeds Railway, and part of the deal was that none of the graves were disturbed, so they built it up on an embankment. So all the graves are actually still here, and all the stones are laid down all around. But yeah, let's get going. I think it's probably going to take about an hour to do the walk. Palace pub there. Opposite. So there's the Minster, and this is the first of the bars. The actual stone bar is still here in this case, as you can see. East Bar. East Bar, this ancient stone marked the eastern boundary of the medieval town of Leeds, which was that way. And if you were to go that way, at that time all you would have found was open fields and farmland. There would have also been a beck. Meanwood Beck runs from the river down there all the way along here, all the way up past the bus station, and it runs in a culvert now, but that would have formed a natural boundary to the east. And if you can imagine, back in the 17th century there would have been a gate, and presumably somebody collecting tolls, but yeah, there you go. It's number 1 of 6, and as we always find on our walks to the men of the Leeds Rifles, who gave their lives 1914 to 18, 1939 to 45. And there's the badge of the Leeds Rifles, and show what these others are. I'm planning to come to the parish church in the next week or so, to see if I can make a little video in there. But for now, we're heading from the East Bar to the South Bar, and we're pretty much walking, I'm guessing the on the boundary would have been, of course, behind the parish church. There's more of the gravestones in here, so I'll have to come back and do that. But yeah. So it's that funny time of year, early September. It's a bit cooler, it's about 14 this morning. So I thought, well, a couple of layers. I'm boiling when I come 100 yards. And I know it's not a Sunday, but I don't think I'm going to get the videos that I want to get done. I just stick to Sundays. Leeds Civic Trust office is over there. People who put these blue plaques up. And I think to the south, the actual boundary was probably the river, wasn't it? If you think. I'm not quite sure what this is. Some weird sculpture. Yeah, I think so. From that gate, the river's just there, so I think that would have always been the southern boundary. These have been springing up everywhere. I saw a tweet yesterday with the Mayor of West Yorkshire, Tracy Brabin, clinging onto one, looking as if she meant business. Not sure if she went anywhere. Little pastry shop there. That's nice. 32. So the South Bar, that's on the south side of Leeds Bridge. The three stones that are left are the Burley Bar Stone. That's inside what was the Leeds Building Society. We'll see that soon. The East Bar Stone is in the wall of the parish church, and the North Bar Stone, that's apparently hidden behind a shop facade on North Street. And what is interesting, if you notice as we walk around, where the boundaries were, pretty much still defines the shopping part of the city centre. Have a little walk down to the river. Apartments and car parks. Everything a city needs, eh? So Leeds Bridge there, and the bar was to the left-hand side of the bridge. The workmen have got their own little dinghy for doing their work. And there is a blue plaque here. You might as well look at it. We've talked about this in other videos. The air and colder navigation before the railway age. The making navigable of the River Aire importantly made Leeds an inland port connected directly to Hull. Cheap water carriage was vital for the successful export of the cloth marketed and finished in the town. The canal was opened in 1700, and here I think is pretty much the heart of the quayside. This is what we have there, and on this side warehouses where the boats would have pulled up. Collins Wharf. LNER there on the railway going into the station. I had hoped to complete this in an hour, but actually, even if we're talking medieval times, it was a big town, wasn't it? A really big town. It's fascinating though to think all the places like Holton and New Penny here. Formerly the Hope and Anchor since 1953. It's been a place for the gay community. Renamed the New Penny in 1975. One of the longest continually running LGBT venues in the UK. Yeah, just to think Chapel Allerton and Holton and all these places. Pitfall Street. I love that name. So just at Briggate here, and then this is Bridge End. Let's cross over one side and come back down the other. So Straight ahead of us there, at the other side of the bridge, would have been the South Bar. Anyone travelling from the south, coming into Leeds, you'd have had to stop there. And again, I don't think there was much at the other side. There's Hunslet was a village, you see, and going out towards Wakefield, there would have been villages that have all now been swallowed up into Leeds. But here we are on Leeds Bridge, and the South Bar sign is just on the old. It's just on the old Aaron Calder navigation building across the road there. I really do find it difficult videoing when people are around, but I'm guessing they can see that I'm videoing, and if they walk right in front of you, that's not my fault, is it? So here we are, the old offices of the Aaron Calder Navigation Canal, and the sign for the South Bar. There is no stone here. I like how it says the gate defending. it was a gate. The southern entrance to the medieval town of Leeds stood here. As I say, that would have took you out to the village of Hunslet and Ardsley. I don't know if Holbeck was a village or whether there was nothing in Holbeck. But there you go. It's quite a bit of history associated with the bridge. Always ironic when you make a video here because it is the home of the Band of Hope movement was formed here in 1847. Prominent Leeds temperance worker, the Reverend Jabez Tunnicliffe. But I would dare to say, more importantly, Louis Le Prince came here in 1866, where he experimented to Leeds in cinematography. In 1888, he patented a one-lens camera with which he filmed Leeds Bridge from the British Waterways building. These were probably the world's first successful moving pictures, and probably better than this rubbish that I'm making today. But it's weird, isn't it? 1888, he was here making movies. 1888. Parish church there where we've just come from, and the East Bar, so not as far as I thought. And the water taxi that I went on with my granddaughter in the summer, and I've no doubt I'll have to go on with my grandson in October. It's a really nice way to see the city if you fancy it. I think it costs about £3, and it goes from the Royal Armouries up to the railway station, and then back. And the railway station's just round that corner to the right there. Seems got a bit of a tilt on it, hasn't it, as it goes round the bend. Sounds a bit like me, really. Anyway, East Bar done. South Bar done. West Bar. This I have a little bit more. Well, I did have a little bit more difficulty visualising it, but I kind of got it now, because off of Briggate would have been houses and gardens, and it was just like if you look at the old maps, it's just a crisscross of little streets, big houses. But again, the boundary was the river, but I think the city sort of kind of follows the road we're on. I think this is Swinegate, which is a really ancient road. So again, I think we're pretty much on the boundary here. But the West Bar is at the end of Bar Lane. And again, there was nothing beyond the West Bar except open fields and forests and farmland. Fancy restaurant, I think it's a Thai restaurant. Yeah. And again, imagine it without the railway. We've walked this, if you look back in my videos, a 1,500-yard viaduct including the new city station, now known as City Station, built over the river and canal, is one of the great feats of Victorian civil engineering. It linked railway termini on opposite sides of the Leeds, erected 1866 to 69. I think my sort of fallback on Sunday mornings is to come into Leeds sort of 9:30 to 10. So you've got about an hour then up to about 11 when it's not so busy. I think after 11:30. Wow. After 11:30 starts to get packed with all the office wallers coming out for their lunch. Great piece of art on the side of what used to be the city station building. I don't really know what it's called. It's been renovated recently. What did that used to be? I can't remember. It was a pizza place. It's a cracking place. Used to always go there. And we're coming up to the West Bar. Then I'm going to have to take a little break. Mill Hill. Yeah, this has definitely been here since the 1600s. And it's on all the maps. Ball Lane there. And Mill Hill down to the river. And the Griffin pub, which has been here a long time. And apparently this blue plaque for the West Bar at the western end of Bar Lane near to City Square. I'll get back to you in a few moments. I need to go and find it. Hi guys, I'm back with you. I just had to nip up to the big shopping centre, the Light. I remember seeing it. It used to be in there. As I say, I needed a toilet. It's my curse on a morning. So if you think we've walked down here before, we have. Now, the blue plaque, just done a little bit of research, and according to my research, this to my left is Lower Basinghall Street, and the blue plaque was somewhere here. Don't know if it's been moved or whether I just can't find it. If you're watching from the Leeds Civic Trust, then please let me know. Oh, it's there. It's there. I was stood filming and it was behind me. I was in the right spot anyway. There we go guys, the West Bar. Bar Stone marking the western boundary of the built-up area of the medieval town of Leeds stood here. Scarcely a single building lay in the old manorial park to the west of this point before 1758. That's that entire area down there. I think it was developed in the late 1700s and 1800s. So there you go. That was just about where the bus stop is where the gate into the city stood. I have to say it's a lot better down here since I've stopped all the traffic. I think I might have chunted a little bit about it. But it's also getting quite busy. Not sure if that's because we're near the station or whether I've took too long. The old Yorkshire Bank there used to be a Leeds coat of arms. What's that called? Platform. Station. Hotel. I think it might be busy because we're down near the station. We've done the east, we've done the south, we've done the west, and again everything, really there was nothing to our left hand side here. I need to walk up Albion Street, but it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. There's people everywhere. So yeah, I think probably I came up via City Square, but I think the boundary would probably have come from the West Bar, straight up Albion Street, because what we've just walked through, there's no sort of ancient city there. So yeah, we're probably back on the medieval boundary now, and as I said to you, 11 o'clock, it's starting to get busy. We are probably in one of the busiest parts of town. Blimey. So yeah, I should have come straight up Albion Street, I think. The medieval city was to our right, and this, as the last sign said, was the manorial park that was later developed into where the town hall is and where the Wellington Street is and where the sort of business and legal district is. So we're at the Burley Bar Stone here. This is a stone, but it's in this Leeds Mathematics School, was the head office, I think, of the Leeds Building Society. I think, from what I can gather, the Burley Bar Stone is in there somewhere. But here we are. So down there, that was all the manorial park. And this stone is now housed inside the main entrance of Leeds Building Society. It marked the medieval boundary between the manorial borough or town of Leeds, which would have been that way, and the Leeds main riding, the surrounding agricultural land, that would have been that way. First recorded 1726. I guess if it was still a building society, I could have just rocked up inside and had a look, but so there you go. That's 4 down. So before Dortmund Square was developed, I believe this would have been the end of Woodhouse Lane. Albion Street goes up there to the right. So this would have been the end of Woodhouse Lane. And the hedgerow. Sorry. Why do people shout when they talk? The Woodhouse Bar would have been somewhere around here, at the end of Woodhouse Lane, which would have come straight through this shopping centre. It's Albion Street there, but goes into Woodhouse Lane. Right, I've had enough. It's starting to get rammed. So there is no blue plaque or anything for the Woodhouse Bar. Let me know if you're watching from Leeds Civic Trust, which I doubt, but if you are, let me know. Was I in the wrong place, or I don't think there is a blue plaque, but on all the literature I've read, it says there was a bar. This was Lewis's. It was a fantastic department store, over about 5 floors. Buy anything you wanted. And that's the St John's Church, which doesn't appear to be open this Heritage Weekend, but I am going to be in Leeds a couple of days to make videos of some old churches. That's the plan. So I will check and see if it's open, because it's quite stunning inside. So just one more to go now, the North Bar. So again, we're kind of following the top of Briggate now, so the South Bar the South Bar is, let me show you, on Leeds Bridge, is right down about there. Yeah, just round the corner to the left. Oh, they just passed me them 4 builders, 5 builders. With assembly rooms. Used to be a dirty picture house. It's a much classier establishment now. I didn't realise that's why there's a walkway, I guess, linking the Howard Assembly Rooms, because this is Opera North, Howard Opera Centre. Oh, pretty cool. Sing, explore, learn, inspire, play, connect, listen, create. I love opera, by the way. I never knew anything about it until about 14 years ago. And I started listening to the Radio 3 breakfast programme. Help me chill out on a morning. It probably is the exact opposite of that skip wagon. It's relaxing and calming, and from that I got into listening to the operas that they have on the Radio 3 once or twice a week. And again, I just find it so relaxing. But yeah, I enjoyed this. So we're on Vicar Lane now, and again, I'm not sure. Oh, it's here. It was covered by a fascia. So there is. I didn't think I'd see this North Bar, but on the pictures I looked at, was covered by a fascia for the shops. This bar stone marks the northern boundary of the built-up area of the medieval town of Leeds. And from here you would have headed north, which is that way, to the villages of Chapel Allerton and out towards Harewood and Harrogate. Yeah, it's cool. That's been there since maybe 1700s, 1800s. Just waiting for a bus to disgorge its passengers. So there you go, the North Bar, and here would have been the gate. I think what happened I don't know if it was the late 1700s, but the bars were, the gates were replaced with the stones. And as I say, there's only 3 of the 6 stones remaining, and we've seen 2 of them. The other one's in the Leeds Building Society. So again, to our left here now, and to the down that way to the south there would have been nothing, just open fields. I've just realised, I had a quick look at my notes, and I think Park Row, when we were up at the Burley Bar Stone, Park Row was the first street to be developed in the Memorial Park. I'll complete the circle. Again, Vicar Lane's just the other side of these buildings here. Again, a very ancient street. Been there for a very long time. And if you are in Leeds, support your local market. It's a fantastic place. There used to be a pub here called the Market Tavern, just about here. Its nickname was the Mad House. So that kind of tells you everything you need to know, really, doesn't it? Won awards, did that building, apparently. I think it's a monstrosity. But what do I know? And hopefully in the next sort of 40, 50 years, maybe multi-storey car parks might disappear out of the city centre, because what a waste of space. And apparently this one is very expensive. It says £1, £12.95 all day. But I read some reports on TripAdvisor. £200 for a monthly season ticket. I think I'd buy myself an electric bike. I'll tell you which way we'll go. So I think the boundary here would have just sort of gone across by Vicar Lane and then to Kirkgate. Yeah, to come down Vicar Lane towards Kirkgate and then down Kirkgate, and again everything to the left and to the south would have been fields, and again the Meanwood Beck I was telling you about will be just down where the traffic lights are. This is the other half of the parish church graveyard. So you see the graves on the floor there. So when it's quiet one day, we'll come and make a little video of it. But I'm going now. It's got really busy, and it's not as pleasant a place as it was 1 hour ago. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. We're back where we started at the little park where we started this morning. If you did like the video, then give it a big thumbs up. Do consider subscribing to the channel. The subscriptions are growing nicely now. But until the next time, I'm going to go to the market, to the food hall, and visit Manjit's kitchen and get something scrummy for my lunch. But until the next time, I'll say cheerio.